Congrats, now you're a blue trooper. Per our contract, we'll give you some cash to start out, and you'll represent us in the races.
I will not disappoint, Mr. Bluebell.
Take it easy, bro. You got this. Get them wins.
Thank you, sir. I'll do my best.
Don't forget, you only get to ride blue cars. Part of the contract.
Roses are red, violets got hue. I was banned from the color red, therefore I shall choose blue. The rules for this run are simple. I can only use cars which paint job is blue. The goal would be beating the Gran Turismo World Championship, which would require winning all beginner and professional events. With this in mind, into the Gran Turismo mode we go. Upon starting the game gave me a starting funds of 10,000 credits. I gave the historical car dealership a visit, scrolled down its contents and found myself a used Toyota MR2 dressed in dark blue. I quickly decided that this would be my starter car. After spending approximately 8,000 credits, I headed to the beginner events to get a good look on the events I'll be tackling. Upon scrolling down to the list of events, I noticed this B icon on the Spiders and Roadsters event. This icon tells you that unless you have the appropriate license, you may not access this event. So, I quickly dispatched the license tests and gotten the domestic B license needed to clear the beginner events. Now, I was incapable of getting the gold medals as I suffer from a condition widely known as Achilles ischiolus, truly a debilitating condition. So, I settled for the second best prize, the silver medal. Attaining silver medal on all domestic B license tests had awarded me both a Volkswagen Lupo and a concept car, the Mazda Kusabi, as well as the permanent ticket required to access events that will require ownership of a B-level license. But, do you see anything wrong with these cars? That's right, these cars' colors are not blue. The Volkswagen Lupo came in white paint, whereas Kusabi's color was silver. Unfortunately, as per the rules, I will not be able to use these cars under any circumstances. Therefore, they must be sold. Armed with a second-hand MR2, I march on to the first event of the game, the Sunday Cup. The Sunday Cup consists of 5 different races. Its only requirement will be for your car to use either standard or sports tires. I expected a low difficulty from this event as this is the first event, and the prize of winning one race is a measly chump change of 600 credits. The first race of the cup was held on the light version of the Autumn Ring. The opponents are mostly driving low-powered hot hatches. Upon rolling to the starting line, I noticed the oil icon flaring up on the bottom of my screen. Apparently, the concept of oil change was foreign to the previous owner of my MR2. They had driven this car for thousands of kilometers and decided to put the car up for sale with bad oil inside of its engine. This resulted in reduced power in my car's already low-powered engine. Nevertheless, I carried on. On the first corner, I took advantage of the Alfa Romeo and the Volkswagen's wide racing line, and with the MR2's acceleration, took over the 2 hot hatches. I tried the same maneuver on the Scion XB, but this particular rival closed the door before I could pass through. Another corner came up and I took the XB from the inside, gaining 3rd place. I noticed that this car's handling characteristics are peculiar. It's quite twitchy. This means I must be careful on attacking corners, or spin out and win my race. Right before the end of the first lap, I managed to take the Peugeot, who gave me a love tap for my troubles. 1 lap and I've climbed to 2nd place from last place. While this is a good progress, I must increase the pace as the race only has 2 laps and the track was quite small. I closed my gap with a Fiat Punto and with a totally legitimate, precise maneuver, snatched pole position from my rival. As the race went, my lead increased and I crossed the line first, with approximately 2 seconds advantage from the Fiat Punto. This victory gave me the affirmation I needed. I immediately challenged the second race, which was held in the beginner's course of the driving part. The opponent roster is not that much different from the first event, with the Alfa Romeo 147, Scion XB and the Fiat Punto making their return. This track is even smaller than the Autumn Ring Mini, which explains the amount of laps we had to go through to finish the race. I opted for the inner ring on the first corner of the race, which was quite a blunder as the slow Scion XB chose the same option, completely walling me from climbing up the ranks. This absolute stylish 3-dimensional rectangle on wheels, however, failed to block me on the second time as I weaved through both the XB and the Miata before me, landing me on P4. On the second lap, I learned from my mistake and instead went for the outer side of the first corner, hoping to overtake both the MG and the Lion Color Alpha in one fell swoop. The MG, however, felt the incoming threat and moved to the left in a futile attempt to thwart my plans. In the end of this ferocious battle, the MG ceded, and as a result, I was just one position away from victory. There might be 2 laps remaining, but each lap ends in roughly half a minute. If I were to beat the Punto before me and record another win, I must act fast. Right before the end of the third lap, the black Fiat was overtaken. The last lap only served to further my gap, and I recorded another victory to the record book, as well as 600 more credits to my bank account. Before I start the third race of the Cup, I decided to rectify my predecessor's errors and actually change the car's oil in GT Auto. The car was lifted by an unknown, invisible force of witchcraft, and the staff crawled under the car to do its magic. Before I knew it, the oil has been changed. I paid the company 50 credits for the troubles and headed to the high-speed ring for the next race. On the high-speed ring, there was not much to note. I overtook the 5 racers before the first corner, despite that absolute maniac of Honda driver's antics, and kept my lead until the very end with a whopping 13 seconds gap from the Berchetta, which had taken the silver medal. The next event was held on a beautiful night street route called the Clubman Stage, Route 5. A track which, in my opinion, has the best aesthetics in the game. The sight of skyscrapers around the highway-based route in the night is a scene that never gets old. Unlike in the high-speed ring, the MR2 didn't manage to immediately pull ahead of its rivals. Its twitchiness also didn't help much on the first corner. Half of the first lap had passed, and I'm still stuck on last place. This is bad. Fortunately, I managed to pull away from the black Peugeot, escaping last place and overtook the Punto. Inside the tunnel, I opted for the inside corner, the option which the Mini had also taken. Sounds familiar. Fortunately, my car was stable and thus allowed me to overtake the Mini on the wrong corner. Just outside this tunnel, the Miata tried to grind my progress to a halt, but lacked the power to keep up with my MR2. The last lap was upon me, and the only competitor standing in my way was a Polo, and there goes the Volkswagen, quickly taken care of. The last race of the Sunday Cup was staged on the Twin Ring Motegi. If I win this race, that means I will have won the first event Gran Turismo 4 has to offer. I entered the race, pushed my car to keep up and overtake the opponents. On the last corner of the first lap, the Renault Megane missed the mark and ate sand, irreversibly giving away its spot to a certain motivated blue MR2 driver. From this point on, the problem was the talent. That particular rival was quite a powerful one, racking up such a long distance from me, who had just wrestled my way to P2. However, my Toyota was more powerful and has less issues on the corner compared to the Eagle. Naturally, I took advantage and ended the race in first, gapping the mighty Eagle by 4 seconds, who gapped the Punto in third by roughly 7 seconds. The Sunday Cup was done. I've won all 5 races. To the victor goes the spoils, which in this case takes the form of a red Auto Bianchi Abarth A112. Welp. At the very least, the A-Grand could be used for something. Maybe? The next event my car can enter was the MR Challenge, an event exclusive for middle-engined, rear-wheel drive cars. Yes, we are talking about the likes of Honda NSX and the Lotus Esprit, scary contenders. But this is part of the beginners events. It can't be that hard for my pure stock used MR2, can it? And soon, my delusions were shattered. 197 points, a spec race. From the amount of points alone, I should have known that this would be borderline impossible. However, I do not subscribe to the idea of surrender. Instead of quitting and trying anything else, I decided to race. And I got completely obliterated.
This is a joke.
What the hell? Hey, stop! Hey, you're not supposed to go there! This is cheating! Do you hear me? Cheating!
Move already, goddamn you! You little piece of shit.
Do I upgrade my MR2 or buy an objectively faster car? I checked the Honda dealership for a Honda NSX. While there's an option for the blue NSX, the price tag was simply out of reach for my current financial condition, and I am not about to spend more than 100 grand to win a series of races that only yields 2 grand each. I gave the used cars dealership a visit, and while a used NSX was only 28 grand, none of them were in the color that I wanted. After a lot of mulling, I've decided to give my MR2 its long-deserved upgrades and retry the race. This time, it's a 102 points race, a significant decrease from the 197 points in my previous attempt. The MR2 is subtly quicker thanks to the upgrades. Climbing up the ranks in this event is now actually possible. I swiftly took the black Elise on the floor, shoved the Clio out of 5th place, placed the ASL off the podium and handled the white Elise with finesse to gain my spot at P2. The purple MR2, however, was already too far in front for my blue MR2 to chase, and as a result, I have to be happy with a silver medal. While these upgrades weren't enough to bring home victory, they were enough to give me substantial progress. Maybe if I upgrade this car a little bit more, the gold medal would be within my reach. To confirm my budding theory, I tried the autumn ring race. My opponent still has the advantage when it comes to car performance. However, what I like in performance, I tried to make it up with skills. I shot through the Elise, but my heart rate increased as soon as I see the race leader has begun building a considerable gap. I fiercely battled the NSXR for the 3rd place, only for the white Honda to show me my place by out-accelerating my little MR2 and overtook the blue Elise, which later I also overtook. In the end, I took 3rd place, behind the dominant Esprit and the defiant NSXR. While a podium finish, it's not the golden trophy that I seek.
Hey, remember me?
Mr. Bluelock, I'd have worn more appropriate outfit if I knew you'd be here.
There's no need. I heard you won the Sunday Cup. Congrats!
Thank you. I presume you wanted to discuss an important matter, given you traveled all the way to my garage.
A little birdie told me you're getting yourself beat in the MR challenges. Can't blame you though. Look at that thing. It's all you got?
Unfortunately, the Sunday Cup did not give me a blue car.
The license tests?
Neither of the prize cars were blue.
Yikes! Anyways, if you want easy cash, the Japanese Compact Cup is now open. Looks like your ride sure enough to get in.
I appreciate the advice. However, I don't think my MR2 could be considered as a compact.
You'll be surprised, but the choice is yours.
I'll think about it. Thank you for your insight, Mr. Bluelock.
No worries. Think long and hard on this, Kay?
Aside from the beginner, professional, and expert events, national events are also present in this game. The Japanese events are one of them. While clearing them is not mandatory to beating the World Championship, they could help along the way. Scrolling down, I found what could be the answer to my troubles: the Japanese Compact Cup. Standards or sports tire limitations aside, this cup only has 2 other requirements, that being the car's maximum length is 4000mm and the car's make is Japanese. And would you look at that? My Toyota is short enough to be considered a compact, so I decided to register for the championship.
Hello, friendo. Don't you worry, I put a plug on that already. The new guy? He's stiff, a bit round on the edges, but he got what it takes. Buddy, it's me you're talking about. Have I ever been wrong? Just you watch. Soon our new guy is gonna rack in the medals and the fame. All he needs is a small push.